Hi everyone, it's Debbie with Book and Bujo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. Let's see how I did with my Our Fantasy Bingo Challenge for 2024 because it ends March 31st and a new one comes up April 1st. So let's go through and see how I did. And Our Fantasy Bingo does 3 different styles of the challenge. You can just do regular mode, you can do hard mode, and you can do hero mode. Last year I completed hero mode and did a blackout. This year, there's 10 books that I haven't reviewed yet, so no hero mode for me, but I did get hard mode for everything. I'm coming up. We'll see how long he lets me sit in the chair before he kicks me out. He likes to walk around behind me and take the chair over because he decided this is his chair. Oh, I'll do. Yeah. Well, this might make this a little more difficult, but we'll make it through. All right, space number 1 was first in a series, and the hard mode was a series with more than 3 books in it, and I mean, that's kind of easy. There's a lot of series that are really long, but I went with Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, and that's the first book in the Spellslinger series, and I did complete that one. Number 2 is alliterative title. And the hard mode is you have to have 3 of the same letter. And I did find one, and that was The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. So I did complete that one and the hard mode. Number 3 was Under the Surface. And the hard mode is at least half the book takes place underground or underwater. And for this one, I found Leviticus, Dictates of the Servitors, Book 1, and that's by Callan Samuels, and that did complete my hard mode. Number 4 is Criminals, and the hard mode is features a heist, and you are allowed 1 reread for this challenge, and so I read Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo, which definitely has a heist, and I love this story. Thank you. All right, let's see. Number 5, Dreams, and the hard mode is not mystical or unusual, just a normal dream or nightmare. And this one I wasn't sure, so I looked around and people suggested The Dream Thieves, which is the 2nd book in the Raven cycle, and that's by Maggie Stiefvater, and it did have dreams in it. And I don't believe they were mystical or magical or anything, so I'm counting it, and if it's not right, let me know down in the comments. All right, number 6, Entitled Animals. And the hard mode is animal in the title is a fantasy or sci-fi creature. And this one, I did kind of make it easy on myself in this one, but I did read A Natural History of Dragons, which is the first book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series and has a dragon on the cover. And that's by Marie Brennan. Number 7 was Bards, and the hard mode is the character is explicitly called a bard. And for this, I read A River Enchanted, which is the first book in the Elements of Cadence series by Rebecca Ross. Number 8. Prologues and epilogues, and the hard mode is book has both a prologue and an epilogue, and for that I read Peace and Turmoil, the first book in the Dark Shores series by Elliot Brooks. Number 9, a self-published or indie published book, and the hard mode is has fewer than 100 ratings on Goodreads, or indie has done an AMA with Our Fantasy. And for this one I read Fairy Godmother and Other Tales by Mrs. Alfred Gaddy. Number 10. Hi. Number 10, a romantasy, and the hard mode is main character is LGBTQIA+, and I read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, and I don't remember what the series name is, but it's so cute. Number 11, Dark Academia, and the hard mode, school itself is entirely mundane, and for that I read The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Number 12, multi-POV, and the hard mode is must have at least 5 POVs or more, and for that I read Magefall, and that's the 3rd book in the Kingfall History series by David Estes. Number 13, published in 2024, and the hard mode is it's also a debut, and for that I read Daughter of Fire by Sophia Robletta, and that is the one I just finished. Number 14, a character with a disability, and the hard mode is the main character has a physical or mental disability, and for that I read Fourth Wing, the first book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. Number 15, a book published in the 1990s, and the hard mode is the author has also published something in the last 5 years, and for that I read Shaman's Crossing, the first book in the Soldier Sons trilogy by Robin Hobb. Number 16, orcs, trolls, and goblins, oh my. Hard mode is orc, troll, or goblin must be a main character. For that I read The Thousand Eyes, which is the second book in the Serpent Gate series by A.K. Larkwood. Number 17, read a space opera. And the hard mode is written by an author of Marginalized Gender Identity. And for that I read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, the first book in the Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers. Number 18, read a book by an author of color. And the hard mode is must be a debut in the last 5 years. And for that I read The Canopy Keepers, and that's the first book in the Scorched Earth series by Veronica G. and Henry. And I did enjoy that one. Number 19, survival. The hard mode is no super viruses or pandemics. And for that I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which is the first book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Carissa Broadbent. Prompt number 20, judge a book by its cover. And the hard mode is you picked based only on info on the cover, no blurbs or anything. And for that one, I read The Fangs of War by E.J. Doble, because that's just so pretty. Look at that. Very beautiful. Number 21, set in a small town. And the hard mode is small town can be real or fictional, but the broader setting must be in the real world. And for that, I read The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Number 22, 5 short stories. And the hard mode is to read an entire speculative anthology or collection. And for that, I read Hex Life, Wicked New Tales of Witchery, and that was by a variety of authors. I think there was 20 or so stories in there. It was pretty good. For someone who's not a fan of short stories, I enjoyed them. 23, Eldritch Creatures. And the hard mode is not related to the Cthulhu mythos. And for that I read Monsters Born and Made, and that is by Tanvi Burwa. 24, reference materials. And the hard mode is contains at least 2 types of additional materials. And for that I read The Return of the Knights. I don't remember the series name, it is a series. And that is by Gregory Contaxis. The additional materials could be prologue, epilogue, could be a glossary, a history, timeline, things like that. And this book did have a couple of those. And then lastly, number 25, book club or read-along book. And the hard mode is must read a current selection and participate in the discussion. And for that I read Imperfect Magic. Again, don't remember the series, but it'll be up here for you. But it's the first book in the series, and that was by C.N. Rowan. And I did read that, and I did hop in and comment along with some of the others in there. So that was it. April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025. And the next one will be coming soon. I'm very excited to see what they have in store for the prompts for this next year. So it's nice to have my sweet Walter come join me. It's been a while. So how did you do on the did you take part in the Our Fantasy Bingo this year, or have you in the past? I would love to find out. Let me know down in the comments. And have you read any of the books that I read for this? Did you think I used them correctly, or did they not fit some of the prompts I put them in? Are you interested in participating in the next Our Fantasy Bingo that comes out in April? I would love to find that out too. Let me know. And I will be coming up soon with another video once that comes out, letting you know what it is and what the books I plan on reading for that. And of course they tend to change as the year goes on, but it's still fun. And if you made it this far in the video, leave a dog emoji in the comments to let me know that you are here to celebrate Walter. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!